Good morning, students. This is Dr. Rob Witten, principal of Rocky River High School, here to discuss class meeting topics for the 2023-2024 school year. Today's agenda will include introductions of the administrative and counseling staff, a school safety refresher, which will be recorded in a separate session and shown after the session, student expectations and policies, updates from our counseling department, and updates from our athletics department. We have 4 people on our high school administrative team. I've already introduced myself. In addition to me, we have 2 assistant principals and our athletic director. Ms. Miranda DeCaro is assistant principal for students' last names A through K. She's currently on maternity leave, and Mr. Todd Murphy is a substitute assistant principal. Mr. Murphy is a former principal of Kensington Intermediate School. He has since retired and is coming back to help us out. Mr. Brian Gergely is assistant principal with last names L through Z. And Mr. Mark Wagner is the director of athletics and activities. If you have any questions about athletics and activities, you should go see him directly. Our counseling department consists of a number of individuals. Mr. Jeff Petroulis is the counseling department chair, and he also oversees students' last names A through G. Ms. Sarah Blatnick is a counselor for students' last names H through O. Ms. Candace McMahon is a counselor for students' last names P through Z. In addition, we also have a new member of our McKeon counseling team. Her name is Laura Feeney. She is one of our mental health resource counselors. Any student, regardless of your last name, is welcome to stop by and see her anytime. She's someone you can stop by to talk to. If you're having any type of issues, socially, emotionally, she's here for that purpose. And our new school resource officer is Garth Seelong. After this presentation, I will go through a specific presentation on school safety, but just some general overviews first. All entrances into the building open at 7:15 a.m. There are 3 doors you can come in. You may enter through the stadium entrance, the main entrance, which is off of Detroit Road, or the Wager entrance. All of those open at 7:15. All doors are manned at all times. After 7:55, you can enter through the main entrance or the Wager entrance, and somebody will buzz you in. Every year we go through social media safety and training, and we will get into that more specifically later in the year. We have a speaker coming in early October who will be speaking to all members of the student body in 2 separate sessions, and his message is going to be on social media marketing, what schools, colleges, and the workforce / employers are looking for when they search students' social media. In addition, we have social media safety training for freshmen as well. The basic thing to remember is be careful what you're putting out there. We recommend students set accounts to private and vet everything that you're posting before you send it out. Additionally, we will have 3 different types of safety drills throughout the course of the year. These are all required by Ohio law. We'll do fire drills, which you're all familiar with, tornado drills, which you're all familiar with, and some sort of active shooter / evacuation drill, which you have probably practiced at some point if you've been a member of the school district. If you're new to this school district, some of these things may be new to you, but we'll help you through it. With student expectations, generally through our PBIS programming, we ask for 4 things: be respectful, be responsible, be caring towards others, and help us ensure a safe learning environment for students and staff. It's the golden rule, essentially. Treat others how you would want them to treat you. And if you can do that, things will go well. Code of conduct is available on our website should you care to read it. But generally, all the school rules apply to and from school if you're using school transportation. They apply on all Rocky River City School District property, including if you're at the playground at Kensington one weekend and something happens, that's still district property. All events that are sponsored by Rocky River outside of the school day, so athletic events or activities that exist both on our campus and off our campus, school rules apply. And anytime you're on a school trip, whether it be a field trip, an overnight trip, or an extended day international trip. School rules are always in effect. Just keep that in mind. Many of you are aware of our late policy, but if you're not, this is a good time to review it. For tardies, again, a tardy means you're late to class or you're late to school. So if you're late to school, your first through third time, you'll be getting called down to meet with one of our assistant principals, and they'll just give you a verbal warning. The fourth tardy and beyond starts resulting in progressive discipline. What that means is detentions, and then it can proceed to other consequences should the behavior persist. Class cuts. If you skip a class, you get 3 after-school detentions. So please be aware of this. Everyone's expected to be in class at all times when students are scheduled to be in class. If you have open campus privileges as a junior or senior, and you've received the appropriate permission, you can leave during that time, but you are expected to be back in the building when your classes are scheduled. Anytime you're in the hallway, and your teachers will go over this with you, you should have a hall pass, a physical hall pass. And if you abuse privileges such as going to the restroom for extended periods of time or consistently trying to go to the restroom, those privileges can be taken away. So be aware of that. From a discipline standpoint, we have 4 basic types of discipline. There's traditional discipline that can range anywhere from a verbal warning, a phone call home, all the way to suspension/expulsion. Progressive discipline just means something that kind of gets worse over time. So it might be something that starts with a verbal warning, you do it again, it becomes a detention. If you keep doing it, it can progress to more severe consequences such as suspension. So please be aware of that. We also, depending on the situation, sometimes work with restorative practices where we bring groups of students together that aren't getting along. We try to work out what the problem is. And lastly, loss of privileges. What loss of privileges means is if you're repeating a behavior that's not appropriate, sometimes we'll take away your ability to drive to school. We may take away your open campus privileges, your abilities to attend extracurricular activities, up to and including dances like homecoming and prom. Okay, so what are the actual classroom expectations? We've covered the general school expectations. Generally in a classroom, the decision making is up to the individual classroom teacher. And know that our administrative team will support each teacher in all code of conduct areas. Each teacher has their own set of specific rules, expectations, and guidelines as it pertains to their individual classroom. So please pay attention when your teachers are going over the rules with you through the course of the first week, and follow the rules in their class. You may have classes that have different rules, and that's totally fine, but it's your responsibility to know what the rules are for each individual teacher's classroom. Everyone should know what a PLC meeting is, but for those of you that don't, a good refresher never hurts. PLC is an acronym that means Professional Learning Community, and that is designed mostly for our teaching staff. Every Wednesday morning, school starts 1 hour late. So every day it starts at 7:55 a.m., but on Wednesdays, first period starts at 8:55 a.m., and we have shortened class periods all day on Wednesday. During the first hour of the day, each teaching department meets with their teams and they go over things like curriculum and testing and things of that sort. Every now and then, students are required to attend PLC meetings in the morning at 7:55. Those are almost always in the auditorium unless otherwise noted. These are also posted on our website, but you can see that the first meeting for seniors is August 30th. Juniors, you guys are lucky this year, you only have 2 meetings. Your first meeting is October 25th. Sophomores, October 18th, and then freshmen, September 20th. Social media safety. All right, counseling updates. Normally, if we were meeting in person, this is when the counselors would get up and explain everything to you, but in this case, since we're doing this electronically, I'm just going to cover expectations. All schedules are set. Schedule changes are made if there is an error on our part. So for example, you need a graduation requirement that hasn't been scheduled, we will change it in that case. Or if you were changing levels of a course. So let's say you're in an AP, let's say AP US History. You're in AP US History and you've been in it for a few weeks and you're like, this is a little bit too challenging. We do allow students, if there's room, to drop down to regular US History. Other than that, We don't make schedule changes for any other reasons. If you don't like your lunch period, if you don't like the friends that are in some of your classes, while we understand that angst, we do not make schedule changes based on those requests. You must have a minimum of 5 classes each semester. So you need to be what that means is you need to have a minimum of 5 credits. So any class that is less than a 1 credit class or a 0.5 credit semester class does not count towards your total of 5 classes, and that would be classes like physical education. So if you're in a phys ed class, you're probably going to be in 6 classes. If you do not have the required number of classes, your counselors will touch base with you. Anytime you need to see your counselor, you're welcome to make an appointment. You can schedule that ahead of time, either via email, or you can just stop in the counseling department and schedule it there. On October 11th, we will be giving the PSAT to all students in grades 9 through 11. Grade 11 students, this is the year that the PSAT counts towards your national merit abilities if you score high enough. And seniors do not attend school on October 11th. That is the day dedicated to seniors where they're supposed to be visiting colleges and things of that sort. Athletics and activities updates. In order to be eligible, you need to be passing 5 full credit classes. This does carry over into the fall semester from the previous spring semester at the end of last year. So if you were not passing 5 classes during the 4th quarter of the previous school year, you are not eligible during the 1st quarter of the coming school year. There's a separate athletic and activities code of conduct. If you are on a team, there are certain aspects of the code of conduct that are in effect 24/7. Please review that. It's on our website. We meet all OHSAA requirements, and we encourage everybody that isn't currently involved to get involved in either an athletic or an activity. Home events we always encourage students to attend, and we have a group of super fans this year that help encourage cheering at games and student attendance. That concludes our class meeting for the year. If you have any questions about anything, as always, you're welcome to stop by and see us at any time. Other than that, have a good year and go Pirates.